That dynasty's over. We did what we had to do. It doesn't mean, it's not about what it means. You know what it means. You can turn your cameras up to the screen and know what it means. We did this.
They not like us. They not like us. Say, Drake, I hear you like a ball. You better hammer through the cell like.
Well, this is Jagmeet at the Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert in Toronto, Canada at Rogers Centre Stadium. So who's Jagmeet Singh? Jagmeet is a Canadian former politician who served as the leader of the New Democratic Party from 2017 to 2018.
He confirms to me, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss. That's what he says.
Drake's spiraling again. Word on the street is he tried to block Kendrick Lamar from ever performing in Toronto again, but this time, it's gotten way messier than anyone expected. Sources say Drake got so heated, he allegedly started pressing Canadian politicians just for showing face at Kendrick's show and vibing to those savage diss tracks coming straight for him. He's acting like nobody from the States can step into his city and get love, like he owns the whole six. But here's where it gets wild.
No American dude is gonna come to the six and claim the six.
A leaked document just dropped and it exposes how some ride or die OVO fans tried to hijack Kendrick's concert with what looked like a full-blown sabotage mission. They really tried to crash a sold-out event with a takeover stunt, but the whole thing flopped hard and turned into a straight circus.
Federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says he shouldn't have gone to Kendrick Lamar's show in Toronto last week after Drake called him out for it.
And when Drake got wind that Toronto officials were spotted in the crowd, clapping and turning up to Kendrick's tracks, he snapped. Sources say he went into full meltdown mode, calling up powerful people and allegedly throwing threats like this was some kind of political turf beef. Like, what are we even doing? And that's just the intro to the madness, cause now whispers are getting louder about a hidden legal war brewing between Drake and Universal Music Group behind the scenes. This ain't just petty beef anymore. Drizzy might be digging himself into a hole he can't charm his way out of. You seriously don't want to miss this? Let's get into the chaos.
At the show, and you telling me that he only listened to the SZA parts and only jammed out to the SZA parts? I wonder if there's gonna be some video evidence that proves that he's full of shit.
Drake didn't hold back this time. He personally called out a Canadian politician just for showing up at Kendrick Lamar's concert in Toronto. And get this, he didn't even wait for the blogs to pick it up or for Twitter to explode. Nah, Drake tried to flip the script by posting the receipts himself, thinking he could stay ahead of the backlash.
Damn it, turn the TV off. So, it probably wasn't loyalty. The reason why he probably apologized was because y'all probably in his DMs threatening him and getting all mad at him because Drake posted it to his story with his millions of followers, and you guys don't know how to be regular fans. You don't know how to take an L gracefully, so you're gonna sit there and get mad at anybody that shows love to anybody that's Drake's ops. But Drake has a long list of ops, so you guys are never going to rest.
Boom. It blew up in his face. The whole thing turned cringy real quick. Drake posted a screenshot of a DM he sent to politician Jagmeet Singh, like full-on public shade. He tried to make it look like they had some long-standing connection, but the actual receipts? Not even close.
Superpowers get neutralized like the only right in silence. They was right when we once knew us, looking paranoid and now spiraling. Moving just like a degenerate, heavy intake, spilling this table. Calculate, that's calculated, how do you predict your angle?
Sure, Singh once publicly thanked Drake for following him back in 2019, and yeah, there was a tiny shout out in 2020. But after that, nothing. No chats, no friendship, just ghosted vibes. Then out of nowhere, after spotting Singh vibing in the crowd at Kendrick's show, Drake slides into the DMs acting like a jealous ex. And all he said, "You are a goof." That's it. That was the whole message. No explanation, no build-up. Just straight up name-calling like it's high school hallway drama. This ain't just rap beef anymore. Drake's dragging politicians into the mix and blowing up DMs like it's war. But before anybody starts feeling sorry for Jagmeet Singh, pump the brakes. His clapback had folks gasping, but not in a good way. Right after Drake aired him out, Singh folded instantly and dropped a cringe-filled apology on his Instagram stories like he was trying to win Drake back. And brace yourself, cause this part's wild. Dude actually said he only pulled up to the concert to see SZA, not Kendrick. Like, huh? Singh really typed out, "I went for SZA, not Kendrick. I was born in this city. I love this city, but real talk, I get it. I shouldn't have gone at all. Ovo and Drake have lifted up the city in Canada. For me, it'll always be Drake over Kendrick."
Mr. Duckworth, where were you when you signed I don't keep up with dates. I got a million things on them. I don't know. Saturday, May 4th. I don't keep up with dates. 2024. Bro, I don't keep up with dates, man. I don't know, man. I'm in the air. Okay, does this ring a bell? Drop. 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 Drop.
Nah, that's straight up awkward for everyone involved. What even was that? A fan letter or an apology? And here's the kicker. Singh was caught on video having the time of his life during Kendrick's set. And not just anywhere in the show. He was grooving hard to "Not Like Us," Kendrick's most savage diss aimed right at Drake. The crowd was lit, Singh was lit, and now he's out here pretending he came just to hear SZA's vocals? Be for real. Look, SZA's a queen, no doubt, but nobody in that packed-out venue dropped money on those tickets just for her set. The whole building was there for Kendrick. Singh got caught vibing too hard, and the second Drake pressed him, he switched up like the lights came on. Now fans are starting to say that Singh's apology wasn't about guilt, it was about fear. One viral clip showed him vibing way too hard in the crowd, and someone pointed out that he probably only folded because the OVO army started applying serious pressure. And honestly, that theory's sounding more real by the second. Cause what happened next? Straight up madness. You won't believe what these die-hard Drake stans tried to pull off. They really attempted to hijack Kendrick's concert with an OVO-style invasion. For real. One of them even posted a bold call to action on Instagram, telling all 6 God soldiers to flood the Rogers Center on June 12th and 13th, right before Kendrick even hit the stage. And this wasn't some quiet sneak attack. This post was loud, dramatic, and borderline unhinged. The fan wrote, "Toronto, stand up. This summer, Kendrick is coming to our city for 2 shows. But before the curtains rise, we're making it known. This ain't just any city. This is Drake's city. This is the 6, and we're about to show them."
According to sources, Drake's camp tried to get Kendrick Lamar's shows at Rogers Center Stadium in Toronto either canceled or postponed so they can do OVO Fest there. Now, according to sources, attempts by Drake's camp to have both tour shows canceled or postponed allegedly took place in hopes of booking OVO Fest. However, by then paperwork with the Rogers Center had already been filed, and no other venue in the city could hold the same capacity. Now, people were questioning who these sources of Justin Tinsley were. He said, I wouldn't write it if I didn't get the information from those close to the Rogers Center. If it ultimately is proven to be inaccurate, then I will cross that bridge when it gets here. That's what journalists do. But I trust my sources highly. Now, I don't think this is a far-fetched story at all. I think people on a certain side of things don't want it to be true, because if that is the case, then said person or said camp failed to get it done, so it makes them look bad.
They were dead serious about launching what they called an OVO takeover, claiming they were going to pull up deep and turn the venue into enemy territory. The plan? Roll in heavy, blast classic and new Drake hits from speakers, wave around signs repping the 6-6, flex the cleanest OVO drip they could find, and flood Kendrick's event with all the hometown energy like it was a straight-up turf battle.
Get tickets to the Grand National Tour starring Kendrick Lamar featuring SZA. 2 dates in Toronto. But what kind of statement are we making as Toronto broadcasters if we give away these tickets?
We can't do this. As Toronto broadcasters, we cannot give away Kendrick Lamar tickets.
Wow. Because it's the end of the tour. It's also on Father's Day. You know all those things Kendrick was saying about Drake not being a good father? Mm-hmm. It's a statement. It's a victory lap.
I want to say Drake has put Toronto on the map.
Yeah.
You know, tell us about you. You would never be here.
I probably wouldn't have considered living in this city had it not been for the influence of Drake. Like, at the time where I moved here, Toronto was the utmost of relevant cities worldwide. I was like, oh, Toronto? Absolutely.
Drake donates so much to this city that we don't even know about. Helping communities, helping the Raptors. How about the All-Star game here to Toronto? He's done so much for Torontonians, and we are laughing in his face when we're giving away Kendrick Lamar tickets.
What are we gonna do?
We're done. We're not giving them out. I'm not giving them out.
It was giving more fan fiction than strategy, but they were not playing around. These fans were treating a rap concert like it was war for the city crown. And all this chaos over some bars and a beat. And here's where it hits peak desperation. The OVO squad was out here offering free pizza and OVO hoodies just to get people to show up and crash Kendrick's concert. They were trying to bribe folks into repping Drake like it was some promo giveaway at a mall. But guess what? Someone did make history that night. And it sure wasn't Drake or his loyal soldiers. It was Kendrick Lamar, and he did it with cold, calculated precision. Even with Drake allegedly trying to block moves behind the scenes and fans sending wild threats to Kendrick's whole team to stay away from Canada, Kendrick and SZA rolled straight into the heart of the Six and blew the roof off. Not once, but twice. 2 sold-out shows back-to-back at the Rogers Center, right in Drake's own backyard. You can't script this level of takeover. And get this, Toronto didn't just show up, they showed out. The city ended up ranking in the top 5 best-selling stops on Kendrick and SZA's Grand National Tour, based on total ticket sales. So much for Drake City, right? But here's the real mic drop. Kendrick didn't just perform, he buried Drake's rap crown right there on stage. He dropped not 1, not 2, but 3 of the most savage diss tracks in his arsenal. Euphoria, that lethal verse on Like That, and the ultimate crowd killer, Not Like Us.
Yo, bro, why are you here? Why are you here?
I'm here to prove that hometown Drizzy, Drake, Champagne, Pop, the 6 got the GOAT. Hey, Kendrick ain't coming to my city. Kendrick coming to our city and doing this. You can't.
Are you from Toronto? Are you from Toronto or no? If you're from Toronto, you know what Drake has done for the city. Drake has put on the city more than Kendrick's ever done anything for Compton. His entire life. That's how Drake works.
That wasn't a concert. That was a lyrical funeral. And Toronto was front row for the whole thing. And wait till you hear how Kendrick kicked off the show. He opened with Euphoria, and the whole crowd froze. The stage cracked open like something out of a movie, and there he was. Kendrick, standing solo on a staircase, spotlight locked on him. No hype, no dancers. Just him, spitting every cold bar with that calm, sharp delivery that gave the whole arena chills. It was pure silence and then eruption.
This is crazy.
Then came the like that moment. Red strobe lights flashing, energy going crazy, and the entire Toronto crowd was screaming every word back at him like they'd been waiting for this all year. It was electric. You could feel the tension shaking the floor. But the real earthquake? That came with Not Like Us, the performance that shook the whole stadium and hasn't stopped trending since. Kendrick didn't just jump into the song, he staged it. He opened with a mock deposition video playing on the screen, and off camera you hear this cold voice say, "Do you recall what happened on May 4th, 2024?
Here's the thing. He said, you should, and this is what I don't know. And I'm gonna ask Drake. I'm like, Drake, is this true? He says, you should have heard this, Drake, what he was saying to us before we whipped his. This is what he told me. I said, what do you mean? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really knew Drake speaking to anybody. Like, Drake has told me he hasn't spoken to Dot directly, but I didn't know about if he spoke to anybody else in and around Dot.
Boom! That's the exact day Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, the diss that turned the whole beef upside down. And when that beat hit, the Rogers Center erupted. Drake's own city, his own backyard, turned into a Kendrick mosh pit. Fans were up, rapping every savage lyric about certified PDF files, and those shady behavior accusations like they were national anthems. The fact that Kendrick had Toronto, the heart of OVO, screaming his diss track? That's not just a win. That's history. That's legacy. And to twist the knife even deeper, Drake has never performed at the Rogers Center himself. Kendrick did it twice, back to back. Not once has Drake ever taken the stage at the Rogers Center. Not once. Meanwhile, Kendrick slides into the 6, packs it out twice, and turns it into a full-on lyrical funeral for Drake's rap reign. And don't forget, behind the scenes, Drake and his camp were working overtime for months trying to shut it all down, pulling every petty stunt they could come up with. Drake couldn't stop Kendrick from performing, but the backlash leading up to the shows, it was straight up chaotic. The whole city felt on edge, and loyalty in Toronto runs deep and petty. Let's break down some of the most unhinged moments that had people shook. First off, 2 radio hosts from Chum 104.5, Jamar McNeil and Josie Dye, made headlines for straight up refusing to give away Kendrick tickets on air, just to stay loyal to Drake. Yep, Toronto radio turned into a full battleground over this rap beef. But things got way darker. Top 5, a known Toronto rapper and longtime Drake affiliate, went full menace mode. He actually posted threats online aimed directly at Kendrick's team.
Anthony Saleh, he confirms to me, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss. That's what he says. He says Drake is saying to him, Drake is saying like, yo, I'm gonna done you, like just talking crazy like, yo, niggas is watch, yo, you guys think you could finish me? Crazy. All of a sudden, they're like, then we drop the bomb, right? Not like us.
And he didn't just talk. He was spotted with his crew circling Kendrick's hotel the night before the show. That's not fandom. That's borderline stalker behavior. Like, how far are people really willing to go over a rap beef? And of course, there was the whole OVO takeover that had Drake fans hyping it for weeks like it was gonna be a full-blown movie. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But the build-up had the city buzzing like something major was about to pop off. But when the big day finally hit, that so-called OVO takeover turned out to be a total flop. Organizers tried to spin it, saying the police shut it down. But let's be real, the turnout was weak, the energy was dry, and the whole thing fell flat. Nothing like the Takeover movie they'd been promising. Meanwhile, Kendrick walked into the Rogers Center and got nothing but pure love. 2 nights, 2 sold-out shows, Toronto locals screaming every single lyric like these songs raised them. Those back-to-back concerts weren't just a flex. They were a public smackdown for Drake. Toronto, Drake's own city, showed out for Kendrick in a way nobody saw coming. It looked like the battle had ended right there, with Drake quietly taking that L and backing out. But nope, that's when things turned dark. Now we're hearing whispers, and they're coming from some serious sources, that Drake wasn't just working behind the scenes to block Kendrick's shows. He was allegedly moving like a full-blown Mafia boss. Word is, he was sending threatening voicemails to Kendrick's team for months, trying to intimidate them off the record. And this bomb didn't come from a random source. It was DJ Academics who dropped the claim, saying he spoke directly with someone inside Kendrick's circle. According to Ac, Drake was secretly firing off unhinged voice messages all through the beef, trying to shake Kendrick's crew into backing down. Now here's what makes it even crazier. Publicly, there were zero signs that Drake ever reached out or responded to Kendrick personally. Not a single move. But if what Ac's saying is true, then behind closed doors? Drake was running a full pressure campaign, talking wild like he was heading some underground power play. This ain't just rap beef anymore. It's starting to sound like a whole operation. Academics straight up called it mob talk. But here's the twist. The moment Kendrick dropped "Not Like Us" and flipped the whole rap war in his favor, Drake went completely silent. Just like that. No more voicemails, no more threats, not even a subliminal. Gone. Now fans are asking the real question. Why did Drake suddenly go from Mafia boss mode to dead quiet? One theory has the internet buzzing, and it's dark. See, Not Like Us wasn't just a diss track. It came with heavy implications. The bars didn't just target Drake's ego, they touched on something way more disturbing. Alleged whispers about OVO being linked to a very shady PDF follower ring. That's when all the tough talk vanished. Drake backed all the way off Kendrick. No more pressure, no more smoke, nothing. But instead of clapping back at Kendrick, or even the writers behind those viral lines, Drake turned around and filed a lawsuit against his own label, Universal Music Group. Yep, you heard that right. Drake is accusing his team of letting those diss tracks get cleared, and basically saying they allowed Kendrick to defame him. But fans are confused. If Drake really thinks he was defamed, why not sue Kendrick directly? That's where things get murky. Some say Drake's avoiding that route because a direct lawsuit would force everything into the public courtroom record. And if those dark rumors get dragged into court, there's no burying them. Now the legal tension's building fast. UMG just hit back, filing a motion to dismiss, calling Drake's claims completely misguided, and saying Kendrick's lyrics are protected opinion, not defamation. The court hearing, locked in for June 30th at the Southern District of New York. And depending on what comes out in that courtroom, this saga could take an even nastier turn. From here, it all comes down to one major decision. The judge could shut the whole thing down, or let it move forward into the danger zone. Depositions, document drops, and maybe even subpoenas that could drag everything into the light. If that happens, things could get very real for Drake, fast. Now his entire situation sits in the hands of a federal judge, and every eye in the industry is watching that courtroom. But just when you think it's all about to crash, Drake's been quietly cooking something of his own. Rumors are swirling that he's almost finished with his next album, titled Iceman. And insiders say it's packed with subliminal shots, cleanup verses, and attempts to reshape his whole image before the legal mess spirals even worse. So now the big questions are, what's he hiding, who's he targeting, and will Iceman be the ultimate comeback, or a last-ditch cover-up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We need to hear what you think about all this madness. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. This story is far from over. Catch you in the next one.